so much fun today. My first guest is known as the First Lady of Racy Romance, okay? Now, she has sold over 500 million copies. Is that incredible? Of her books in more than 40 countries and has just published, get this, her 29th novel. It's called The Power Trip. So would you please welcome New York Times best-selling author Jackie Collins.
How lovely is this? I feel like I'm in your living room.
That's the point.
With all these great people here.
That's the point.
Yeah.
I know, with fun friends hanging out. So like here you are, 29 books.
29.
So out of all of those, tell everybody how many are New York Times best-selling.
28, and I'm hoping for the 29th.
Awesome.
So, yeah, it's so much fun.
That's incredible.
Well, I love what I do. I have a passion for writing, and so many people say to me they want to be writers, and I say, well, you've got to be a storyteller, you've got to have a passion for it, because I think if it was 100 years ago, I'd be sitting around a campfire going, let's tell you a story.
I bet.
Yes.
You do. You know how to tell a story. Where did you learn that? Where did you...
You know, I was kind of a loner at school, and I didn't really hang with the other girls. I'd have my nose in a book all the time.
Really?
And I was reading people like Mickey Spillane and Harold Robbins and all these exciting adventures, and I was too young to understand what was going on. But as I got older, I thought, well, they're terrific books, terrific stories, but their women are in the bedroom or the kitchen, so it's either sex or cooking. And my women aspire to so much more than that. And I wanted to write strong women, and that's what, and also I wanted to take the double standard and throw it on its head, because, you know, we all know that men can get away with anything.
Well, that shouldn't be the case.
So I wanted to write really strong women, and I created a character called Lucky Santangelo.
Yes.
And people loved her. I wrote 7 books about her, 2 miniseries for NBC. And she's a character that women aspire to be.
Do you think that's why, do you think that might be this strong female thing is why women are so, say, addicted to your books? Because I know women, friends, they said, I knew you were going to be on the show today, and it's like, oh my gosh, I can't wait for the next book, and I just every year I just look for the next book, and I'm like, wow. Well, that's an addiction, isn't it?
It is an addiction,
yeah.
But I cover the waterfront because I write about all ages, all sexual orientation, all colors, and so there's something for everybody in all my books, and they can identify with the characters, and they especially identify with the strong women, because not a lot of writers write strong women. Yeah.
We were just, right before the show, I stopped in to see you, because I haven't seen you since we did...
With Donnie.
I know, that guy.
That guy.
I know. But we were just talking, you are really into Twitter. We were just taking it, we were saying how we were going to tweet and everything.
Yes.
You stay so current. Do you think that's important?
I think it's very important. I'm a popular culture junkie.
Yeah.
I love to keep up with everything. I know. And
you write about it all. You have to.
I have 4 TiVos in my bedroom, and that's not a lie. 4. And they are all full. And it's crazy because I'm always trying to catch up. So many shows to watch, so much to do.
Where do you get your energy to do that?
Well, and then I'm writing the books in longhand, too, so that takes me forever. This book, The Power Trip, is a 2,000 longhand pages. That's a lot of writing, a lot of work.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Okay, so, you know, we look at you, we know your books and how you write, and you're very passionate, very busy, you're a smart woman. You're a very smart woman.
Takes one to know one, Marie. Right? Yes.
But I go, okay, where did all this start? You came here at what age?
Well, I first came here, I was thrown out of school. And
in
England, in England. And I was thrilled because I hated it. I played truant every day. I would go to the movies in Leicester Square in London, and then I would forge notes. Oh, Jackie's got a terrible strep throat. She won't be coming in for a week or so. And
children, don't listen.
No, don't listen, because school is good. And eventually my mother discovered this was going on, and she was horrified. And to cut a long story short, I was kind of a hippie before there were hippies. So they burnt my clothes, and then they said to me, I had an older sister who was in Hollywood making movies with Paul Newman and Harry Belafonte, and they said to me, okay, reform school or Hollywood, which will be the title of my autobiography.
That's great. That's great.
So I sat back and I said, oh, I think I'll take Hollywood, right? Surprise, surprise, because I loved America.
Now, wait, so they sent you here?
Yeah, because I used to pretend to be American at school. I would say my father is in the CIA, and I'm really American.
Gosh.
I have to speak with an English accent.
You were born to be a writer.
Yeah, I was always telling stories.
Seriously, you would have been one of those kids. No wonder you loved to go to the movies.
Yeah, absolutely.
Was it an escape from your reality?
It was, actually, because I felt myself to be not superior to the other girls, but different from them. Because being an English school, their mothers would meet them, you know, and they'd all be going off to the country for a weekend with the dogs and everything, and I'd be going to the movies, you know.
Yeah.
So when I got to Hollywood, my sister met me at the airport, and she said, Joan? Yeah. And she said, of Dynasty fame, and she said, I've got to go make this movie in the Bahamas with Harry Belafonte, so here's, you know, the keys to my apartment. Learn to drive. Here's a list of people that can help you if you get into any trouble. Goodbye. And she was gone for months on end. And I'm like,
wait, this was
great.
This was at the airport?
This was at the airport. She was actually, we were crossing
Did your parents
flights.
know this?
I don't know what they knew. You know, they literally were so happy to get rid of me. They really wanted me out of their
No,
lives.
they did not.
Really, true.
Seriously?
Yeah. So I moved into this apartment, which was like a Melrose Place type apartment building with all these little apartments, and people were, you know, trying to be writers, pumping gas and parking cars and trying to
literally
make it.
Like the song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it was so great. And the people that lived next to me, I wrote about in Hollywood Wives when I wrote that book, because they were Angel and Buddy from that particular book.
So you use real life people.
Oh, all the time.
So everybody's trying to figure out always who the person is that is the secret celebrity or whoever in the stories that you tell.
My readers love the guessing game. And I love not telling them exactly who it is. So they have to guess, and they go with it, you know, and they'll go through all the characters.
It's so fascinating. So this rebellious side of you that you say you had, and I don't know if it's rebellious, it's just you didn't want to conform to a strict upbringing.
No, I didn't. My father was a theatrical agent, so our house was always filled with famous people. Well, famous from variety, like jugglers and actors and singers.
Crazy stuff.
And yeah, it was a crazy life. And my mother had this trolley that she used to put food on a Friday night when my father would have a card game, and I would manage to get on the bottom of the trolley. It had a long cloth, and I would hide there, and I would hear all these men, and they would, you know, they would be a little derogatory about women. It was the gangster mentality.
Isn't that? It's no wonder you write
this.
Strong Women.
Yeah, and I thought, this is not right. I'm going to do something about this. Right. So my first book, the very first book I wrote, was called The World is Full of Married Men.
Wow.
Because it seemed apparently obvious that men could go off and have affairs, and everybody went, oh, you know, he was in Chicago for the weekend. What does it matter? You know, the woman has to say,
matter.
Of course it matters.
Yes.
So in this book, what happened was my character, the female wife, she finally has an affair 10 years later with a rock star, of course, because it is a Jackie Collins book. And he says, I'm going to divorce you. And she says, well, okay, fine. And he goes to his beautiful girlfriend. He has this fabulous mistress, and he says, I'm divorcing my wife. I'm now going to marry you. And she looks at him and she says, I don't want to marry you. I just like sleeping with married men. But when the book came out, you know, there was shock and horror from men because, oh, how dare she say this?
Double standard.
And it was #1 within 2 weeks.
Isn't that
Yes. I know. Yes. So nice.
Now, what did your dad do? He was
a theatrical agent.
An agent?
Yes, an
so
agent.
So you were around all of this for forever.
Yeah, I've never been impressed with meeting famous people because of my upbringing, because seeing them since I was a kid. So when I first came to Hollywood, it was like I could sit at these parties, and I was always the youngest person in the room because I was 15 and then I was going to be 16, and I would sit back and I'd watch. And I always like to describe myself as an anthropologist crawling through the jungles of Hollywood, watching what goes on and reporting it in my books.
Do you know, I think that I'm a watcher. I'm a definite watcher. I would say your sister is more of a participator.
She's a participator. She loves to go to parties. She likes to dance. She says to me, she has a house in the south of France, and she keeps on saying, you must come there. There's lunches every day and a fabulous party every night. And I'm going, this is my idea of a nightmare. I don't want to do that. Because why don't you come there?
Do you think that's why you are a writer? You're both very different. But you are an observer. I mean, from knowing you over the years, I watch you. I'm an observer too.
Yes.
But I think that's why you're so brilliant at what you do and these characters and the people. Now, when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about your new book and the character and who we all think that it is.
Okay.
And
start guessing.
Right? So stay with us because we have more with Jackie.
Coming up, Jackie gives us the scoop on her new book.
We are back with Jackie Collins, and we are talking about her new book out this week, right? The Power Trip.
The Power Trip, yes.
And, you know, a lot of people are trying to guess the characters. Okay, come on, you know it's George Clooney.
Oh, it could be... It could be Bradley Cooper.
Oh, it could be Bradley.
It could be any of those guys that were in People magazine as the sexiest man alive. It could be Channing Tatum. Yeah. Although it happens in The Power Trip to be a 50-something movie star with a 20-something girlfriend who's marriage phobic. However...
Do you think women are marriage phobic now?
No, he's marriage phobic.
Oh, he's marriage phobic.
She wants to get married, yes.
Yeah. I'm like, really? Boy, times have changed.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I know. I hated when I was a kid reading those books where at the end of the book, you know, they would think they're writing a strong woman, and then the man would say, and I'm going to marry you, and the woman would go, oh, isn't that wonderful? Women are not like that anymore. Women know that they need to do something for themselves, that they need to have a career. Yeah.
Now, do you believe in marriage? Are you old-fashioned that way?
I believe in marriage if you want to have kids, yeah. I mean, I think you can do anything you want to do before you get married. And then, but marriage, the late Louis Malle called me a raunchy moralist. I really we were making Hollywood Wives, and he was married to Candice Bergen, and we were on the set, and he came over and he said, you are a raunchy moralist. And I love that description, because that's what I am. My characters, the bad guys always end up badly, and the good guys always win.
Yeah, it's true.
Because we can't do it in life. So I can do it in books. I can give you a happy ending.
Tell us really quick the book. What is it about?
The Power Trip is about a Russian billionaire and his supermodel girlfriend who have this incredible yacht, and they go on this trip to Cabo St. Lucas, and they take 5 couples with them who are very affluent. A cheating politician and his wife, a black footballer and his wife, a singing star, Latin, who's just come out of the closet, and his boyfriend.
You're awesome.
And Flynn.
Now, that's an eclectic group that could cause some serious trouble.
Yes, it is. And what happens is they get pirated by Somali pirates. So it's all an adventure.
Oh, my gosh.
And what happens to all these very, you know, people who've had everything, surrounded by gophers all their life, and suddenly they've got to face pirates. Now, if you want to read the first 3 chapters...
I knew you had to get Hook in there somewhere, right?
You can text.
Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp. Okay. No. I'm sorry.
If you want to get the first 3 chapters, you can text Jackie at 58885, and you get the first 3 chapters.
And we will put that on our website. We'll put that up for you.
That would be great.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've also given a lot of celebrities their start, like Sandra Bullock.
Sandra Bullock played Gino Sant'Angelo's wife in Lucky Chances, my NBC miniseries.
And that's before anybody knew her.
I know.
Yeah.
And she was so fabulous. She came in for the audition, and I remember sitting there with all these guys, and they were going, well, I don't know if she's sexy. And I'm going, she's perfect. She is Maria. And so we cast her as Maria, and everybody, I'll always remember this, on the set, fell in love with her. All the grips, all the guys behind the cameras, it was like Sandy this and Sandy that, and we were all in Vegas shooting, and she was at the blackjack table every night. She was a lot of fun, really, and she still is. I saw her.
And you're friends. Are you friends with all these people?
Yeah, yeah.
Is anybody ever afraid to be because they're afraid you're going to write about them?
Well, yeah, occasionally they kind of back off if they don't know me and I meet them for the first time.
I think you're lovely.
Oh, thank you.
I really do. You are.
Well, right back at you. No, I think people are nervous, but in the same way, I've never really dissed anybody that I like, you know? Only people that I don't like.
Do you like me?
Yeah. I mean, my gosh. Your family would be such an incredible family to write about.
Oh,
Yes.
Oh,
But I won't do it.
Yeah, there's a few of those. No. We were just saying though, when you talk about sibling relationships and like
Yes.
with your sister, you can say whatever you want about your sibling, but nobody else can.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
No, I agree
very
with that.
loyal. I can tell you have that connection.
Oh,
as
definitely.
siblings.
Yes. Yeah.
So what other projects are you working on right now?
Well, I'm working on-
Because don't you do a book a year, right?
I do.
Yeah.
So The Power Trip was the book this year. Thank you. And I'm working on a cookbook, which I've delivered already, will be out in time for Mother's Day next year.
Do you
It's called-
cook?
I do, and it's called the Lucky Sant'Angelo Cookbook. So it's all Italian recipes and beautiful illustrations of Lucky, which I think are fantastic.
Wow.
And then I've written little scenes like what happens between Lucky and Lenny, who is her husband, and her kids, Max and who's this
I taste
teenager.
another New York Times bestseller.
I make great meatballs.
Spicy.
Of course.
Are you Italian?
No, I'm not, but I think I was in another life. Because I always have Italian superheroes
Because you
in my
kind of
books.
you said Italian cooking. So does that lean your way or
Well,
what?
my fiance, who unfortunately has passed on, was Italian.
Wow.
And he was a great cook, and he was fantastic. And so it's kind of in his memory in a way, because he's such an incredible person. He was like a superhero from one of my books.
Aw.
Yeah, so
Is there anybody in your life now? Are you?
I live my life like an affluent bachelor. I have a man for every occasion. Whatever it might be. Yeah, because I've had a wonderful marriage.
Yeah.
I have wonderful kids. I have a great family. I'm
have
very
how many
lucky.
children?
I have 3 daughters.
3 daughters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one of my daughters, Rory, has just written a book.
Really?
Yes, it's called Playing Along, Rory Samantha Lerman. It's on Amazon, and I'm so proud of her.
It's wonderful.
Yeah, the other one has Tiny Tilia, which she sold to Avon. So I'm very proud of my daughters. They were never Hollywood
You're
kids.
like your mother.
Thank you, thank
Yeah.
you. Yes, and I'm also working on a new book which was Confessions of a Wild Child, which is Lucky when she's 15. So it's going back in time.
Is Lucky you?
She's the woman I would like to be.
I think there's a lot of women out there that would like to be you.
Yes. Well,
Thank you so much for being here
Marie.
today.
It was so fabulous.
You are a joy always to talk to. For more information on Jackie's new book, The Power Trip, go to our website. We'll give you all the information where you can text and get the chapters. We'll be right back.